What is the ruling on hijrah? Migration is compulsory if a Muslim individual is unable to establish his basic Islamic practices in the land, such as prayer, fasting, and the adhan. If a Muslim is unable to establish the essential practices of Islam, then they must find somewhere else. It is permissible if a Muslim is confronted with problems that make life difficult in that land, he is permitted to leave his land to another land of Islam seeking relief. Number 3, it is forbidden if by leaving a Muslim neglects the Islamic duty in his land that no one can replace him in. If someone is playing a critical role and nobody can step in and take that role, then it is forbidden for a person to leave. What is the ruling on living among non-Muslims? And that is one topic that Muslims in the West have been avoiding talking about. We shy away from certain topics because they're controversial. We don't want to deal with them. But eventually we'll be faced with real problems that will force us to deal with these issues. And we need to have frank discussions on such matters. We can't just throw them in the closet, brush them under the carpet and think that they will go away. When it comes to living in a non-Muslim land, it is the consensus of Muslim scholars that is not allowed. And the ahadith are very clear. أَنَا بَرِيءٌ مِّمَّنْ أَقَامَ بَيْنَ ظَهْرَانِي الْمُشْرِكِينَ. I have nothing to do with a Muslim who lives among the ones who associate God besides Allah. This is one hadith of men, different narrations. The scholars gave exceptions. They said if a person is propagating the message of Islam and is practicing Islam freely, then that is an excuse for them to stay. They also gave temporary excuse for somebody who is doing business or seeking knowledge. But this is on a temporary basis. It is not to settle indefinitely. Therefore, it is not allowed for us to live in non-Muslim environments unless we are fulfilling our responsibilities of da'wah. Otherwise, we are accumulating sins by default. So da'wah is not an optional thing for us, but it is something that justifies a Muslim living in a non-Muslim society. And by da'wah we need to understand this in a comprehensive way. It doesn't mean that every single person needs to do the same thing. We mean da'wah in a comprehensive way. Anything that is serving the welfare of Islam, anything that serves the propagation of the message would fall under da'wah. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're distributing leaflets to non-Muslims or you're giving speeches to them. These are two ways, but there are many others. Relief work is work of da'wah. Charitable work is work of da'wah. Teaching Muslims living in the West is a work of da'wah too. So we need to understand this concept of da'wah in a comprehensive way. Uthman ibn Mad'un was one of the most